Hello everyone and welcome back to the Minecraft survival guide. And you might notice that I'm at the main menu instead of the actual world, and that's because the new 26.2 update actually came out, but I couldn't really make a video on it because I was editing episode 4. But now I'm actually able to play it, and some new things that came are a new friends list. And now if you go into options and into video settings, you can also find the graphics API, and now Minecraft actually supports the Vulkan graphics API, which can actually improve your performance a lot if your device can support Vulkan. But I recommend it to keeping it at default because if your PC does not support Vulkan, it will automatically use OpenGL. But anyway, other than that, there's also a new sulfur cave as you can see, made of cinnabar blocks and sulfur blocks. There's also potent sulfur and sulfur cubes. And yeah, I'm gonna show you how to get into a world. Now I practiced. Now I made a flat world in 26.2, and I actually played on this world yesterday, but I kept it on 26.1.2 just because I wanted to do this. Now we're gonna click upgrade and play, and now it's gonna ask us to create a backup, and I'm just gonna create a backup right now because I did not create a backup yet. But if you already created a backup, you can just click I know what I'm doing and you can just go on. But I'm just gonna click create backup. And now we can join the world. So we can just click yes. And we also got a new music disc in the game today, and it's called Bounce by Fingerspit. And now as you can see, the game just feels a bit more smoother, and I've limited my FPS to 180, but let me just put it on unlimited real quick. Alright guys, I turned off my FPS limiter and VSync, and now I guess it's at 300 FPS, and most of the time it's not even like 100 to me in OpenGL most of the time. So yeah, this is a pretty steep improvement if you ask me. And if you look at the pause menu, you can actually see the new friends list and a new player reporting button, a feedback button, and also a bug report button. Now if you open your world to LAN, you can actually turn it on here. You can do all that stuff. But now if you're in hardcore mode, you cannot actually allow commands. So now you can't really cheat in hardcore Minecraft by just getting yourself back on creative and just giving yourself the same experience level and stuff. And yeah. Now if you notice what this chest is, this is actually my wool chest. I got some wool from all the different colors of sheep. And this is from the shipwreck that we explored. And let me just take some copper. And let me just take some sticks real quick. Alright guys, I've got 15 iron ingots, and as you can see, my shovel's about to break. So I guess we can make a copper shovel for now because I don't really need the extra speed from an iron one. So I'm just gonna take that, and instead of making that, I'm gonna make a copper shovel. And for an axe, I'm gonna do the same thing with the axe as well. But I don't need a copper that. Well, I need an iron helmet because my helmet actually broke. And I also need a new shield because my shield is about to break. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for us. And now, as you can see, a new shield. But I will have this shield on my inventory right now. But I'll keep this here along with the other trash I have. And if you're wondering why I have spruce planks and a lot of spruce logs as well, you don't need to be concerned, guys. I just got some tree farming going on, and basically what I did is I just got all my saplings And then I started planting them, and as you can see, these bamboo have grown up, and you might notice our sheep pen is noticeably empty and there's a lot of sheep around here. And that's because I needed white wool, and the sheep pen was too crowded, so I decided to set them free. But anyway, I just grew a cherry tree, some oak trees, and some acacia trees, and also some spruce trees, some jungle trees, and dark oak trees. And if you don't know how to grow these, now for a dark oak, jungle, spruce, or pale oak tree, you only need 4 saplings and you gotta place them in a 2 by 2 like that. So let me just show real quick. If you're wondering how I made the grass look like this, I just clicked right click to make it into a path block. Now you need to place your saplings like this. You can either wait for them to grow, or you can use bone meal. And then for normal wood tree, and now for oak, birch, cherry, and acacia, you can just grow them like how you would normally do it. And you can also grow spruce trees normally as well, but growing it like this actually gives you more wood, as you can see. But yeah, let me just do something real quick. Alright, now we've got brand new tools, and you might notice that my iron pickaxe is slightly used. And that's just because my copper pickaxe is actually broke, but now we actually don't need the copper pickaxes because we have some iron. And if you're wondering how I got all that iron, there's like a cave around. Wait, let me just come to the cave real quick. There's some bones. And now, there's actually a cave down there, but don't worry, guys, the cave is pretty small. I mean, it's basically like one giant noodle, and it ends around here near our big spruce tree. And if you're wondering what this block is, it's actually called andesite. Let me mine it out real quick. I've got some of this, and there was like a massive patch of andesite here. I just mined all of it. And now we've got something called andesite. We can actually turn that into polished andesite like this. And let me also take some normal andesite. Okay, guys, so this is what normal andesite looks like, and this is what polished andesite looks like. And I'd say polished andesite is a much cleaner build because you can use polished andesite as like a floorboard thing. And yeah, it looks pretty good, but the thing is, you can actually, like, use andesite along with cobblestone for texturing. Let me just get some cobblestone. Now, as you can see, the andesite is actually kind of similar to cobblestone, but there's also another way to make this look pretty good compared with the cobblestone, and that's by clicking escape, then going to options, and then clicking resource packs. And you can, like, ignore all this. Okay, you guys can ignore this, but we can just put this programmer art. It's actually over here. You can bring that here, and you can make sure it's above the default one. And now once you click done, it'll take it. Let's just give it some time. And now you might notice that these textures look way too different. I mean, look at this. I mean, oak leaves like this. I mean, they all look pretty different. And look at the water bucket, and then look at all of this. The armor looks so weird. Look at the shears and stuff. And that's because this texture pack is called Programmer Art. And what this texture pack basically does is it basically reverts every single texture there was before 1.14 into pre 1.14 textures. Because along with the village pillage update on 1.14, we also actually got a texture update, which, made these blocks look like this to the blocks and basically that texture update changed all these textures into the textures we now know and love today. Well, anyways, let's just change back to the newer textures. And if you want the programmer art to just be ready, you can just click this down arrow. And it'll go below the default one, and now it'll actually, like, still have default textures, and it'll still remove the programmer art, but you can easily not toggle it now. And yeah, this is what it looks like. And if we look at this, as you can see, we've got some We got a bunch of cobblestone, andesite, a whole lot of oak logs, cobblestone, white wool, more white wool, and 2 oak doors. And that's because we're gonna upgrade this tiny shack into a pretty large house today. And now if you're wondering how I have all this cobblestone, I didn't actually go somewhere and mine them. I actually got it in 10 minutes, and I'll show you how I got it in 10 minutes. Alright guys, we're kinda close to the place. And let me just come down real quick. And it actually has to do with lava. And there is a lava lake over here. Let me tell you the codes real quick. It is negative 560 and negative 100. But if you want to know how to get here, you can just come back. You can just come behind this hill and behind the starter base. And then you might notice there's a hole in the ground. You guys don't need to worry. There's a ladder down there. And now you might notice it's a big hole. And now you might be wondering what this contraption is. And this thing is actually called a cobblestone generator. If you've played Skyblock before, you might know what it is. And it's actually pretty easy to build, but I just made it a bit more efficient using basic designs. And you might be wondering how I got. And now you might be wondering, this doesn't look like the good old cobblestone generator. And that's because it isn't. And that's because it isn't. And I just did some quick changes to the normal cobblestone generator to make it a bit more efficient, such as placing a waterlogged stair like this. And if you don't know what waterlogging means, it's just basically putting water in non-full blocks, so like, putting water in leaves. I'm pretty sure ladders are in that. No, there aren't. Like slabs, stairs, and other stuff. I'm just gonna put this over here. I close this up because the water will flow out. And then I set a slab down here to make us a bit closer to the cobblestone. And now the biggest problem with the cobblestone generator is that the lava actually takes some of the cobblestone and hence burning it. Now what I did here is, if I can get this properly, and now you might be wondering, I'm literally on lava. How am I not burning? And that's because there's actually a cobblestone wall over here, which actually technically makes you stand above the flowing lava. And we've also put the lava flowing a bit further away. And now if we cover this up like this, and we stand on the slab over here, and then we hold left click. I also placed an oak plank. I also placed a spruce plank over here just to make sure that, we don't break the dirt nearby and stuff. Now, how I got this in 10 minutes is that I was basically doing this, and then I did F3 and P to do pause on lost focus disabled. Now it's actually enabled because I've already disabled it. Now let me just do that real quick. Now I'm gonna do F3 and T, and I'm gonna leave my left mouse button. And you might notice that it's kind of loading because it's reloading its resource packs. And right now I'm not even holding on to anything on my mouse. I'm not even doing anything. And yeah, now what you can do is you can just tab out, you can watch YouTube and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But I'll turn that off. And the way you can turn that off is by either opening your inventory or doing something that, disrupts the breaking process naturally. And I did that for 10 minutes, and I got like 7 stacks of cobblestone. But anyway, we gotta go right now because it is getting late at night, and also I forgot to get my water. And you can also take the water over here after you've done using it. And I'll explain how that really works. And now, as you can see, there's a zombie with golden armor. I don't think there is any food that I can actually eat. You know what? There is this suspicious stew. And I'll tell you more about suspicious stew and how to make them in a later episode. But basically what it is that it's a mystery soup, and this soup can give you different kinds of effects depending on, what flour is used in it. And yes, you do need flowers for this. Now the best suspicious stew uses a dandelion because it gives saturation, which is basically what fills up your hunger and heals you up. And yeah, let's test our luck with this. And oh, it's night vision. And if you're wondering how I just healed up, that's really just because of the saturations. And that's really because the stew already fills up some hunger points. But saturation gives that even more of a boost. Now, you might be wondering what night vision really did, and that really, when what that did is that, in this dark area, you might have seen that, it became slightly brighter because, now we can actually see in the dark. Now, because, let's see if we can still sleep. I don't think we can, but if we are quick, maybe not. Now, as you can see, the local difficulty in this area has increased by a lot, and I've broken a torch over there. And this path block is kind of annoying, so let me just switch it up real quick. Now, the field is full of carrots, and the real reason why I really got carrots right now is because I just want to start a pig farm someday, and I've also been saving up wheat seeds, and that's really just because, I can use the wheat seeds to, make a chicken coop as well. And chicken is actually a pretty good food source. I'm just gonna place the bone meal over here. And now our wheat farm has grown up a lot, so that means we can, breed up all these animals. Now I'm gonna Hey folks, welcome back. And today I'm gonna show you something that you can do with leather and some string if I can find some really quick. There you go, I found some string. Let's see something you can do with the string and the leather, and that's called a bundle. And for a bundle, we need a leather down here and a string up here, and a bundle can actually hold a stack of mixed items. So it cannot really hold an entire 64 items, but what it can do is that now if I just take some of this junk over here, and now this takes up 4 whole slots in my inventory. But now what I can do is I can just drag it here, left click, left click, left click, and now this holds it all in a single place. And to take these things off, you can do two things. You can either take it to your hotbar and then right click it individually, or what you can do is you can scroll out, right click, and take it out individually. So if I want to take it like that, then I could do that. Now, the main flaw with a bundle is that you can't put unstackable items in it. So let me just clear out the bundle real quick. Now, if I put a shovel in here, which means you can't really stack up shovels, it says full because, you can't stack it. And don't think you guys are clever by putting 16 snowballs in here as well, because that'll also make it full because, snowballs can only stack up to 16, and technically, one snowball takes 4 slots in the bundle. So yeah, I'm just gonna take all this, and I'm gonna put that in there. And let's actually craft a bit more bundles. I'm gonna craft 5 of them to be exact. Now, it might look like there's a lot, but this will heavily save our inventory space a lot. I mean, just look at that. You can literally just do that, and now this can hold up to like 6 stacks of items. And if they're all unique items, this would probably take out my whole inventory. But now I can place them all into just one slot in my inventory. And eventually later on, we can also make chests that we can carry without taking their contents out. And if you've ever played Minecraft a lot, you know that they're called shulker boxes. And shulker boxes can actually complement with bundles a lot. So yeah, let me just get this beef cooking and I'll come back. So guys, I want to show you another cool food source, and for that we need some cocoa beans. I'm just gonna take one because we don't really have a lot because we didn't start planting them yet. And we need 2 wheat per cocoa bean. And now we can actually make 8 cookies. But you can eat these cookies and they're actually less nourishing than actual bread, so this is more like a funny food source. And I can also trade with villagers for this. And I'm just gonna eat this. This Enderman is actually trapped in this boat. And as of what I know, I don't think the Enderman can actually come out of the boat because they're technically trapped in here. Then now we can like torture it as much as we can. It'll get aggravated as once we look at it above its wrist. If we look at the Enderman's upper torso for too long, it'll actually start to get aggravated on us. And as you can see, it can still attack. So, and it can also not shoot arrows on an Enderman. So your best bet is to kill it with a sword, like this. And oh, look at that! It actually dropped an Ender Pearl. And what this Ender Pearl can do is that if you right click, it can actually teleport you to a certain place that you want it to. And you can also use this to make something called an Eye of Ender, which can make Ender chests, which are like another set, which is like a whole nother set of a personal inventory, and also Eyes of Ender to also complete the portal in a stronghold to technically beat the game. But there is no end to Minecraft, so yeah. Now let me demonstrate you the Enderman's power. So now if I wanted to kill that zombie over there, I would need to walk. But now I can just throw this Ender Pearl, and now I can come here. But I will take some damage though, because I did technically fall. Now with the sand, you can actually smelt it in the furnace. I'm just gonna put the sand along with two of this. And now what the sand does is that it basically turns into glass just like in real life. And you can stain this glass in many different colors. And uh-oh, I accidentally placed this glass block. And if I don't have an enchantment on my pickaxe called Silk Touch, I cannot take this glass block out. And if I do take it by breaking it, I will lose that glass block. I will lose that glass block forever. Now let me just smelt some of this. And we also need glass for a bigger house. So yeah, let me just show you where we can find sand as well. If you guys don't know, you can actually turn bone meal into white dye by placing them in a 2x2 crafting grid. And I'm going to take the bundle that we already have, and we're going to make it a white bundle. And I'm also going to take some more dye, such as the dandelion over here. And also, guys, if you want more andesite, there's also a patch of andesite over here. I don't know how much andesite that'll come from this patch alone. And there's also another kind of decorative stone called granite. And we'll talk about this in a later episode, but basically this is just like andesite. And you can also turn this into polished granite as well. But anyway, now I'm gonna show you where you can find sand. And essentially you can find sand anywhere there is water, just like in the real world. Or you can find sand from deserts as well. And oh my god, is this a cave? Never mind, it's a pretty shallow cave. Now, as you can see, around the water over here in this river, there's a whole lot of sand and stuff. And yeah, we can take sand from there, take sand from there. And if we also have a desert pretty nearby, you can still go to that desert and grab sand from there as well. But I'm just gonna grab sand from here for now. But I'm just gonna wait for these glass blocks to smelt, and until then, I'm just gonna go over that hill and collect all the mob drops. Alright guys, while we're at it, let's also create an extra furnace because it never hurts to have more than one furnace. And in this furnace, we're actually gonna keep three. We actually need only like 3 stones, so I'm gonna keep that over there. And we're just gonna place 6 sticks. So let me just take 6 sticks in the first place. And now, by the time this glass is finished smelting, the stone will also be finished smelting. And I'm also going to show you something that you can do using like natural stone instead of cobblestone, because as you can see, this is what stone looks like, but then if we break it with our normal pickaxe, we get cobblestone. And I mean, even though cobblestone's nice, we still need stone for a lot of stuff that we need to do. And stone is also pretty cool. And stone also has a pretty cool thing that you can do. But I'm just gonna take this glass and this 3 stone. And I'm gonna take an iron ingot. And now, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna take this stone. Now, as you can see, you can make stone slabs and stuff. But really, what we need more is we just need to place 3 stone like this, and 1 ironing it like that to make a stone cutter. And if you're playing on the Bedrock edition of the game, you can actually place any of the 3 kinds of decorative stone instead of the normal stone as well. It's in there. Now, a cool thing that you can do using a stone cutter, let me just take like 2 blocks of stone real quick. Now, if I place this into a stone cutter, I can make a cobblestone wall, cobblestone stairs, or cobblestone, and it also saves you on a lot of stone. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool thing to have. And just like that, you can make, because we're actually gonna build our house in the area of this house over here. So unfortunately, we do need to take this house down. So yeah, it was good while this house lasted, but we're gonna build an even bigger house than this. So alright, guys, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna place an oak log here, and an oak log exactly 3 blocks wide of this. And the reason we're doing that really is because if we place a door, most likely we want it as a single door, unless you want to make it as a double door. And if you place the door like that, and then you take your blocks that surround the door, like this, it'd look good like this. But if it were like 4 blocks and you only kept 1 door, it'd look pretty weird. And that's mainly why we're doing this. But other than that, this is the basic template we're gonna go with. So like an oak pillar for like every 3 blocks. So the next one would be here, and then the next one would be here. But this is like the basic template. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take another 3 blocks away, and we're gonna place another oak plank here. And now we're actually gonna raise these things by like a few blocks so that we can like actually connect them. Take this glass, and we're gonna place 6 of them like this to make glass panes, and we're gonna place these in a bundle. And along with this and some stuff over here to make sure that we're actually kind of organized. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some cobblestone, and if you're wondering how I'm easily like able to take it like that, right? If you're wondering how I can like easily take it like that, then easily take it like this, I actually use the middle mouse button to like look at a block and then pick it out of my inventory like that. Now anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna place 3 blocks like this, and we're gonna do this. And now we're gonna take these glass panes and we're gonna place them over here. And if we place normal glass blocks, it'd be just like any of these blocks, but because we're using glass panes, it gives a bit of that depth to it. And we also technically get more blocks if we convert all of them into panes, but I don't think that's needed. And a glass pane is like 2 pixels wide, and we're gonna do that again like that. Put these oak logs over here, and now let's put them vertically like this to make it look like actual pillars. And something better we can do is that instead of actually keeping the pillars over here, what we can do is we can like put the main house a block inward. And I was actually planning on doing that first, but that wouldn't have ended well, especially with the glass panes. So yeah, I'm just gonna take these logs and move them out a little. There you go. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's done. And wait, let's just go and sleep real quick. Okay, we cannot sleep yet. But for now, let's just place a torch over. For now, let's just place a few torches around here to make sure that mobs don't spawn. And now we're actually gonna go to the stone cutter, and we're gonna place some of this cobblestone over here. Like, we're gonna place 4 of these cobblestone and turn them into 4 cobblestone stairs. And now we can keep them around the place where you have windows to make it look like it's kind of supported. And also, let me just sleep real quick. Alright, so that looks kind of good. And let's also take some more. And yeah, I've got 7 cobblestone stairs now. Let's actually take the door and place it like that. And you can actually control how the door opens. So if you look at in- if you take the door like this, and whilst if you're placing it towards like this block, it'll actually open towards the right. And I'm pretty sure I want it like this. Now let's just pick this block up, and we can do a pretty simple porch design like that. And you know what? To make it look a bit cooler, let's just come up here and place that. And now that looks pretty good. And now let's just take this cobblestone. Let me just eat. And now if we do that and then take our oak logs like this. And also, if you guys cannot take all this oak wood and you really want to use spruce or jungle or dark oak wood, then feel free to use that, guys, because it'd still look pretty good. And also, I'd like to credit Pixelverse for this build. You made this on the first season of the survival guide, and yeah, it's a pretty cool build as well. So then we'll just take some of this and keep it there. And the andesite that we actually mined out is actually pretty much optional, so yeah. Alright guys, so the front is kind of complete, and while we're here, let's also take this part of the hill out. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the cobblestone over here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend this by 7 blocks. Well, actually not over there, but rather over here. So we're gonna extend this by 7 blocks. So yeah, I'm gonna count to 7 blocks like this. And now let's just connect this towards here. And now this is like the area that we need. And wait, let me just count this real quick. Alright, so like this is the size that we need. And you can ignore these path blocks because I really placed them for reference only. So yeah. And now I'm gonna place 3 cobblestone like this. And we're also gonna place our supporting pillars over here. Connect them. And then come down here. And let's see if this is good enough. And yes, it is. And now we can place the glass panes over there. Let's take the cobblestone from here. And now what we're going to do with this wall is that we're actually going to go and take some andesite. Alright, so what we're going to do with this wall is that we're actually going to make it kind of like textured. And I'm going to I'm going to place a block of andesite over here that we can actually see the andesite from the front. And now we're actually gonna like try our best to like make it a cool looking pattern. So I'm gonna do this and then something like this where we take this out. And now if we place the cobblestone, it looks kind of clean. And I'm gonna do that over here. And there you go. That's the wall over here that's done. You know what? Maybe we can like, keep a block of andesite over there to make it look a bit cleaner. And I like that. And now let's also, make some cobblestone stairs here. And I'm just gonna place these 2 over here, like how we did over there. And now I'm actually gonna show you something that you can do. So as you can see, there's a lot of grass over here. So if you place a bucket of water, and it's in a pretty flat area, or you can actually like, just take all of that out. And look at that! It looks like we've got new. And look at that! It looks like the pillager patrol came here, and I don't think they know what happened to the previous patrol that came over here. So let's show them what happened to them again. And this guy's trying to kill us. And there you go. We killed the other guy with the banner, and we got the banner and also the ominous bottle. And I'm just gonna keep the banner. And also, you cannot also, and also banners can only stack up to 16. So yeah, one banner takes up 4 spaces in a bundle. But I don't really care about that right now, because our inventory is pretty cluttered. And oh, and yeah, but the only problem with that method with a water bucket is that if you have it near a hole, water actually tries to find the closest way to go down. So yeah, but if you're in a pretty flat area like this, taking it out with a water bucket is much more quicker and efficient. You still get the same drops of normal grass. And now let's you know, do 7 blocks over here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, and let's take these old blocks. And you know what? Let's actually change this up a little. And instead of having 7 blocks over here and then having the window of 3 blocks over there, what we can actually do is we can keep a window over here, and we can put the empty wall over there, and this place can look like a light corner. This place can have a lot of light. So and we can just do this and take that, and we can place it over there for some pretty cool looking place. And now in the actual house, that a lot of sunlight will come from here rather than just coming to here. And it's getting pretty dark, so I guess we can sleep. Now we're gonna take these logs and let's just and now we're done with that. And now unfortunately we did. And yeah, that's why you gotta be careful when you're placing glass panes. And you can actually place glass panes on their own, but they're like super thin. And I don't really want to risk it with that, so yeah. Now we're gonna place 7 blocks of cobblestone. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And if you're wondering why I'm saying it like that instead of just counting up to 7 normally, that's really because I literally messed this up in the creative flat world, like test if I actually like the build. And in there, instead of making it 7 blocks long, I accidentally make it 8 blocks long. So I count like that to make sure I don't actually do it improperly. And here we can do the same thing that we did over there. So we can, and there you go. And that wall is done. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some over here. And look at that, our first stack is almost gone on like building just the lower floor. So yeah, I'd recommend you guys to like farm a lot of trees. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come from the door to over here, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did over there. And anyway, I fixed the place, and now it would be alright. And let's just take our glass panes, and there you go. And like right around, I'm pretty sure it's around here, but yeah, like over there. let's actually, put a wall over here. But before that, let's, take some andesite. And you know what? Let's also, make a back door over here. So, by doing that, and yeah, I guess that's a good spot to put the back door at in case we need to, leave through the back in case of an emergency. So yeah, and you know what? Let's just take this block out, place some andesite, cobblestone, and, andesite, and then I'm just gonna place cobblestone like that, and yeah, this part of the wall looks pretty good, and now we can, fill this wall up as well. And yeah, that's pretty much the first floor of the house. It is pretty much a very simple build to do, and honestly, if you just close out the roof with a flat roof, like right now, it'd still look pretty good. So yeah, it's really up to you, but I really want a second story as well. So let's just make some normal oak stairs while we're at it. Place a, a stair on every cross beam thing over here. And yeah, I'll get back to you guys after I've placed it on every single cross beam. And if you guys don't know how to place a stair upside down, just look at like the top half of the block and then just place the stair normally. And that's how you can do it. And now I'm just gonna place these stairs back because I don't need it. And I'm also gonna sleep because it looks like it's pretty dark, and yeah. And now I don't think you guys know this, but if you sleep during the nighttime and it's raining during the night, during the daytime it'll actually, get the weather all cleared up. So yeah. And also guys, you can place two cobblestone stairs over here to make sure that to make it look like, the door is actually kind of centered. And now let me just see double O. And now let's go to the top floor now. And over here, we're gonna take some oak logs, and we're gonna do the same thing over here as well. And this time, we're only gonna make it 4 blocks. And now, over here, we're actually gonna make the pillars only 4 blocks tall, because, we're actually gonna place a real roof. And 4 blocks would be good, I guess. And also, you don't need to connect. You don't need to connect these logs over here in the second story. So yeah. Hey folks, welcome back, and I finished up all the wooden pillars. And this is what it looks like from the outside. I know it looks pretty nice. And now we're gonna take some white wool, and we're gonna place white wool around this entire panel. And we're actually gonna make sure these are, fully. We're gonna make sure this panel and this panel are fully covered with white wool. In this panel, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some white wool, gonna take some glass panes, and we're gonna place them like this. And yeah, that's pretty much the look we're like trying to make it look like. We're trying to make it look pretty nice, and I guess it's pretty good. And the reason we're using white wool is because, it looks kind of medieval and stuff. So yeah. And if you guys are pretty low on white wool, I mean, you can do the entire part over here with white wool, but if you're running low on white wool, what you can do is you can like take the smaller panels and you can fill them up with white wool, and then on the larger panels you can actually take something like oak logs, or I'm sorry, oak planks, and just fill them up. So yeah, I'll come back to you guys after I've, did it. Okay, so where we're gonna do this is in a few places we're actually gonna use the normal blocks of glass. And on some places, we're going to use the normal glass panes that we already have. and in some places we're gonna keep windows, and in some places we're not. Like over here. Let me just get this wall block over here. So you know, in some places it's gonna be like empty like that, and in places like these, we can give this part a complete outline. And now we just do this. And now over here we're gonna take the glass blocks and we're gonna place them like that. And it looks pretty nice. Uh-oh. Alright guys, I've accidentally made this a bit too tall. The original plan was to, make the window like this, and now we've officially wasted 3 blocks of sand. But that doesn't really matter. And because that side is basically the inverted version of this side, we're gonna do that oak window over here and that wool wall over there. Alright guys, I've actually decided to, on the left side of the house, both of these panels are gonna have windows over here. And over here, let me just take the wool. Let me just do this real quick. And now over here, we're actually gonna take some wood, some normal glass blocks, and we're gonna place them like that. Oh, and I guess that's good enough. And yeah, I'm gonna complete the rest of this part. I'm gonna show you the final result. Hey folks, welcome back, and I'm finished with the second story over here, and I've placed, and instead of keeping glass blocks over here, I actually decided to place glass panes. And yeah, this is what the second story looks like, and honestly, I like it a lot. And now we're actually gonna start building a roof. Alright guys, in order to make the roof, we're actually gonna place a whole set of oak planks over the second story, like this. And this is what the roof should look like before we build it. And now we need to actually hop down. And we need to make some more cobblestone stairs. So, let's get to the stone cutter over here. We're actually gonna, leave this corner over here for now. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a cobblestone stair like that, and place a cobblestone stair like that, and place another cobblestone stair like that on all 4 directions. So I made some more oak stairs, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna place an oak stair over there, and another one here to make it look like it's more supported, you know what I'm saying? Actually, guys, I made a mistake. You actually need to place the cobblestone stairs over here, and the middle stair has to have like a sort of hole over it. So yeah. Alright guys, if you want to make sure you don't want to fall off a block, you can actually hold shift to crouch, and if you look at it from third person, it looks like you're standing in thin air, but you're really just standing on the very corner of this block. And if you do this, you won't actually fall off the block. So yeah, that's a good way to make sure you don't fall off and take fall damage. So yeah. Alright guys, so for the roof, we're actually going to follow that pattern over there. And to follow that pattern, what we really need to do is we need to place a cobblestone stair upside down like that. We need to take a cobblestone block and do that the right way up. And let me just climb up over here. And now, so the pattern now will be cobblestone stair, upside down, cobblestone block, right way up. Upside down, cobblestone block, right way up. And if you look at it, that's how we're gonna do the roof pattern on all of these 4 sides. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and also I'm gonna get some sleep. So yeah, I'm gonna see you after I've done it. Hey folks, welcome back, and I'm gonna finish the first half of the roof, and the way I'm deciding to connect this is by doing this. And then let's actually take this over here. And the reason I made this massive pillar of spruce planks is really just to know if I'm just to really know the center. And now I guess that it looked good. Does it? Alright, let me just check. And you know what? That does look good. It looks like a bell. It's like a bell-shaped roof, so yeah. And I'm gonna continue that, but before that, look at that, there's a patrol over there. I guess they want to look at us finishing our house. I mean, look at that. We're so popular with the pillagers that, literally every single pillager wants to, see what we're doing. And yeah. So, let's just go give them a nice confrontation and also kill all of them because, they'll if we don't kill them, they're gonna kill us. And there you go. We killed the guy with the banner. And and let's make sure that they all kill themselves by, shooting each other. And hey folks, welcome back. And I'm done with the bell-shaped thing on both the sides. And you can ignore this massive pillar of spruce. I just did that to mark the center. And now what we have to do is we just, come around here. And we just place stairs like this until we've like fully surrounded the whole thing with stairs, except on these parts where the bell-shaped thing. So yeah, I'll do that and I'll come back to you guys. Alright guys, I'm done with that part. And now we need to take some oak stairs. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna turn everything into planks. So let's just do that real quick. And now I actually lost the crafting table to a creeper explosion, so I gotta use this for now. And let's just do this real quick. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our stairs and we're gonna start the whole cobblestone pattern, one block like like one block inward, but instead with oak stuff. Now we're gonna place our oak stair there. And I think we'd also need to destroy this pillar, so yeah, let me just destroy this pillar real quick. Alright folks, I've removed the massive spruce pillar, and now the roof should basically look like the same thing on both the sides. Let me just check real quick. Okay, and what about here? Oh, it's actually like a block shorter, and I think I like that design, so let me just go up. Alright folks, I removed that block, and now I guess it should look pretty nice. And anyway, see, so we placed that plank over there. I'm sorry. They placed that stair over there. We're gonna do the same thing over here. And now we're gonna just cover this whole thing up instead of, doing the same pattern again. Because then it would look like there were a bunch of gaps. And now we place another block and a plank. And then plank and stair. And now we fill this up as well. Like that. And we're gonna do that again. And basically, we're gonna do this until we reach the top. So yeah, I'm gonna cut the video at that. And I'm gonna show it. And basically, we gotta do the same thing like we did over these two. So I'm gonna finish that and I'm gonna show you what to do next. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do the same thing. But, we're just gonna make it hollow. We're not gonna completely fill the top out. So basically, what I'm saying is that we do this. And then planks. Alright, folks, we're done with the roof except for this part. And you can either place full blocks or you know what I'd like to do? I'm just gonna take some of this. No, I'm just gonna do a little bit more like that. And now We're gonna place slabs over here. And there you go, guys. We've finished our house. And I I mean, if you guys want the amount of materials used for this video, I mean, you can basically just, get like 5 stacks of oak logs, get like 5 to 6 stacks of oak logs, and like 5 to 6 stacks of cobblestone. Okay, and for 5 to 6 stacks of cobblestone, you can either go for mining, or you can just go and or you can just make a cobblestone generator like that, and you can just you know get a lot of cobblestone like that. But anyway, that's it. Our house is done. And it looks kind of dark in here, so let's just place a few torches let's just place a few torches over here. And we don't need to worry that, mobs will spawn like midair. So yeah. That's basically our house being done. And I mean, look at that. It's a pretty nice house. I mean, just look at that. I'm gonna break this. We've naturally just been placing banners down. But what we can also do is that we can actually put the banners on our shield. And the way we do that is by taking our shield, placing it over here, and placing our banner. And now the shield would have the design of the banner, at least a scaled down version of the design of the banner. And now look at that. That looks super cool compared to the regular shield. Alright folks, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you again on the next one. Have a good day.